Stream delay, man. there we go. So, Megman03, where do I start with this one? First off, he's going to be killing these enemies at the start in a very certain way so that they give him E-crystal drops because he needs to get a certain cyber elf later on. And I'll be explaining RNG in a bit, but for this stage itself, there's not really a whole lot going on. Like, there's this bat here, but you can't really do much about. You just have to hope that just doesn't drop. This climb can be a bit obnoxious sometimes, because, well, it depends on how you do it. Like, you can either hold Buster and Saber, or you can just do Buster and it's not as bad. Anyway, this boss here, you don't really have much you can do in terms of attacks at this moment, so all you can really do is just alternate charge attacks between Buster and Saber. And and what's nice about it is that the damage lines up perfectly, so the boss dies in a reasonable time. So I guess to quickly explain how RNG works in this game, RNG across the entire Zero series is rather static for the most part. Like, it's like stuff in previous stages don't affect it, so it's so the way it works is that at the start of a stage, the RNG value is set to the stage's index value, and then things within the stage change it. And things that change RNG include killing enemies, and that includes how the enemy dies, whether you used a Buster, a Saber, or a Charge Blast, or something like that. Wall sliding and wall jumping. Certain enemy decisions, like say an enemy decided to use a different attack or whatnot. Firing Buster shots to a wall, a Cyber Elf being on screen, and certain effects like screen shake, bubbles from dashing underwater, and death explosions from bosses and mini-bosses. All these things change RNG. And probably the biggest thing that changes RNG is a cutscene skip, because when you skip a cutscene, RNG is reset. And fortunately, there's a cutscene skip before each boss fight, so that means you can very easily manipulate bosses in this game, because in 0-3 you have to do a lot of very long combos, and a lot of these combos would be very difficult to do if the bosses were random. So with that said, now we're on to the first stage, Devil Bat.
Yeah, so he's gonna kill some extra cameras there, so it swivels back and forth to kill an extra camera, and that's because those cameras give a lot of extra points, and he needs points in order to maintain his rank. He needs A rank for a lot of stages in order to get EX skills, which you can kinda compare to how you get weapons from bosses in the classic and X games in Mega Man.
Just back there, he got a disc which gave him 100 crystals.
Yeah, and he's gonna use that for the Cyber Elf later as well, and look into that. But yeah, in this game you don't get the boss's abilities for free. You have to be a certain rank, and the rank is decided by your score, your average score. And it's based on things like killing enemies, clearing the stage quickly, and on certain stages you have extra missions that you have to do in order to get points, and this one has such a mission, and that is killing those cameras.
Another thing you're going to see Will try to do here, he's going to try this thing called terrain glitch. He just did it right there, where if you jump and then within a 3-frame window you dash, you can ignore the quicksand effect of that junk and just keep your dash speed. And back there we got a bird elf, which you'll need at the very end of the run.
Yeah, and here you will see the combo system in action. So you can attack like through the boss's iframes. If you, I'm not sure if I should explain it in detail. That's probably too much to say. But basically, you can attack through a boss's iframes if you use certain attacks in a certain sequence.
Yeah, you have to. If you look at the like a nodes pastement that shows like the combo levels, I believe there's 6 of them.
Yeah.
Also, hardest part of the run right there, making sure you get those discs.
That was a very good fight, by the way.
Yeah, that's a very good fight. So the start of Flyzard here, Will's going to manipulate some more E-crystals because there's an elf he's going to get in the stage called Clockle, which what that does is it decreases your charge time. Like it decreased it from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds, which at this point in the run with how many combos you're doing is extremely useful. So like before, he's going to be killing enemies in a certain way so that he gets these drops. And if you do the manipulation correctly, you'll see a 1-up right here. You just got it right there. And kind of a weird thing about this part is that if you do it too fast, one of those pillars rise up and block you. So you actually want to be a little bit slow here so that that doesn't happen. Also a little skip you can do right there. So coming up here, he's going to be switching to a recoil rod right here because he's going to push this platform so that he can reach Clockle. It is possible to reach Clockle without pushing the platform, however, it's a very stupidly precise trick, and it only saves like a second. So not worth going for at all. This next part, he's just going to be killing these spiked enemies in a room for about 20 seconds. If the clock ends at 10:26, that means it did optimally. And he's killing stuff with a Buster because it lags the game less. If you kill something with Saber, it lags the game for 4 frames.
Yeah, but sometimes it can be really difficult to get them with Buster if they spawn like right above you.
Yeah, like that's why you still want to use Saber, like just in case that happens. So yeah, I guess since there's not really too much going on with the rest of the stage, I guess I'll explain X skills a bit more. The ones that you'll be seeing in the run are the down stab, which you got in the last stage, the 1000 slash, which is a recoil rod X skill, which lets you kind of do a rapid fire attack with the recoil rod. And then he'll be getting up slash later on, and then he'll be getting a forward dash slash attack, which does a ton of damage. And he'll be getting 1 Buster X skill. No, wait, 2 Buster X skills, which one's the ice one, so that he can potentially beat one of the bosses later on in one cycle, and the other one is a laser one, which reflects off walls and does some fancy stuff near the end of the game. And during this boss here, you actually kind of want to time your combos just right so that you cancel out the triple slash animation with a damage boost. Yeah, right here he's going to try to get Clockle. Okay, good, he got Clockle.
Yeah, so
another
Clockle is a Cyber Elf, and they're pretty much like equipable items, pretty much.
Yeah, there are two ways you can equip a Cyber Elf in this game. You can either have it be a Satellite Elf or a Fusion Elf. If you have it as a Satellite Elf, you can use it without having your rank being penalized. If it's a Fusion Elf, then you'll be penalized for using it. So that's why he has to collect all these E-crystals so that he can turn into a Satellite Elf and not have his rank be affected. So right here, I think he might have got a little bit of bad luck with the crystal drop, so he's going for an alternate strat, which gives him more crystals at the start of this stage. So now he's going to turn Clockle into a Satellite and equip him.
Oh, good menu. And he also switched to the Flame Ship, which allows him to take an alternate path in this stage, which works out very nicely because he's gonna do a boss that's weak to fire after this, so he doesn't have to do a lot of menu. And here's a very interesting manipulation. He actually skipped the cutscene up there, which reset the RNG, and then there's a mini boss here, and I think he probably. Yeah, this looks good. He did a little backup. Yeah, now he's
messed up.
But basically, since you skip a cutscene up there, the RNG gets reset, and then if you make it to the boss quickly enough, you manipulate it so that it gives you a good pattern.
Yeah, the only reason he has to get there quickly is because of the Cyber Elf, which I believe is changing RNG every, I think it's 32 frames? I can't remember.
I think it's 33.
Okay, I think it might have been 33. I can't remember.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's a health drop right there, which was a good idea to pick up.
Here's another one right here if you need it for safety. Oh, actually, you have to get that one. Because you take this shortcut.
And so this boss up here is kind of cool, because he has Cyber Elf now. The RNG is changing every 33 frames, as we mentioned, and so he wants to. The boss like drops down a block that you'll see, and he wants to destroy the block early so that the boss does its next attack earlier, because then he gets a better attack very much. But that's because of the Cyber Elf. Like, if he doesn't destroy that block, then the Cyber Elf will change the RNG before the boss does its next attack. So
It's actually fortunate that the Cyber Elf actually causes the boss to give that pattern, because in old routes, you had to stun him with the Recall Rod to get him to stay on the ground. So this next stage, Childre, in old routes we used to get his X skill, but now it's not really used anymore just because it's just not that good. It's just not as good as it used to be. The stage itself, there's not really a whole lot going in. You're mostly just kind of just doing fancy pogos just to be fancy. Like, you're probably going to be seeing Will here do a bunch of unnecessary pogos. He's only doing them just because swag.
I think he might be doing them to get some extra points as well, just for rank safety.
Oh yeah, I guess probably that too. Because I believe he killed all the monitors in Devil Bat.
No, I think he only killed 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, then yeah, then he's probably gonna want to play it safe then. Because normally in a run, you drop rank after this stage, and you get it back after the next one.
Yeah.
So coming up here is a rather obnoxious mini-boss. It is possible to do this combo without damage boosting into him, except it's frame perfect. And you're noticing that he's not dashing, and that's just because whenever he dashes, it's changing RNG, because he's underwater. So this next section, not really a whole lot to say, he's just going to be pogoing off more stuff. So I guess I'll just explain the boss then. The boss is pretty much just like the mini-boss, where you want to avoid dashing because it changes RNG. And you'll be seeing him switch to a 1000 Slash, which in a casual playthrough may seem like a bad X skill, but it actually has very good combo potential, and it's a very quick move to use. So yeah, you just switched to it right there. And you're going to be seeing him do, I believe it's charge, 1000 Slash down stab twice, and then he's going to finish with a down stab because with the way the combo works, he has to do one extra attack. And you got it.
Yep, very nice. Oh, we didn't drop rank, actually.
That's, I think for Marathon's sake, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can afford one death, I'd say, in the early game and not worry about dropping rank. That is if you kill most of the monitors, that is.
Yeah. Like, because of the rank system, deaths in this game are, like, it's not just the time loss of the death, it's also the potential of dropping rank, which can be a pretty huge time loss depending on where it is.
So I guess first intermission stage then?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, there's not that much to say about this. It's a cool stage.
Yeah, you'll see these giant purple enemies. You can double hit those if you time a charge slash just right.
Yeah, you see one there.
Yeah, like that. What he's doing is he's hitting it with a charge slash and then an extended jump slash, which is you do a jump slash and then you hold down, which causes Zero to hold the saber out, and it does an extra point of damage. So there's this myth with Mega Man Zero where hitting with the tip of the sword does more damage. That's partially true. It only does more damage if Zero holds the sword out.
Yeah, so the boss area coming up is pretty cool because it's actually like 2 bosses and they have separate iframes. So you can go back and forth between them and attack them without having to wait for the iframes to run out.
Yeah, I believe there's I think it was an extra down stab you can sneak in at one point to save yourself a combo, except it's very finicky to get and it's not worth going for in a run. So the next 4 stages are all rehashed bosses from Mega Man Zero 1. And the first one he's going to be going to is Blizzak. because he's going to be getting an X skill, which he can use on a boss later to potentially one-cycle it. Blizzak's stage itself, there's really not a whole lot to say about it. It's very basic platforming. He's going to be pugwing in a few places. So, yeah, that's not really a whole lot going on, so...
Yeah, one interesting thing about this is that the rat for this game used to do Hand Machine before Blizzak, because Hand Machine's EX skill is fire-based, so it's good against Blizzak, but it ends up being faster to do Blizzak first, because you do fewer menus.
Yeah, it's pause optimizations. Like that's kind of a typical thing in the Zero series where you might end up going into a fight with not as optimal gear, but it ends up being faster in the end just because you don't have to pause as much. Yeah, this ladder here is rather picky because he has to extend a jump slash these Pantheons, but it's very easy to accidentally grab the ladder or down stab. Because it becomes a lot harder to do an extended jump slash when you have down stab equipped. Because the mindless way of doing an extended jump slash is just to hold down and do a jump slash. But if you do that after having the down stab X skill equipped, he'll do a down stab instead, so you have to hold forward and then mid jump slash hold down so that you can do it. It's kind of obnoxious. And that was a pretty good Blizzak fight.
Yeah, it was really nice.
He's still A rank, so that's good.
Yeah, and his average points are very good as well, so...
Yeah, he has to stay above 86% or higher to keep A rank.
So this stage has a pretty interesting first section, because there are leaves in the way of the platforms you wanna dash on, so you have to do some blind platforming.
Yeah, since he has a flame chip equipped, he can burn the leaves and make it a bit easier for himself, but as you can see here, he's going way too fast, so...
Yeah, and the inside section here has, like, you have to stand on buttons to move these huge blocks.
Oh good, he didn't die to the second one.
Yeah.
It's actually possible to die while that thing's going up.
Those things will kill you instantly, so he's playing it a little bit safe on the... He's letting them go down a bit further than usual.
Also, I think it's a little bit back there. You can get a safety sub-tank if you absolutely need it.
Yeah. This fight is pretty cool. He's gonna do a really fancy triple slash in this combo right there. Ah, actually messed it up a bit. Okay, this is kind of scary now.
Oh, he's gonna be bouncing around a lot now.
Okay, nice.
He's good. Yeah, that first attack is set, but after that, you don't know what he's gonna do. So coming up is Anubis, another stage. There's not really a whole lot to say about it. Like these mid stages are kind of just bland, but it does have a kind of an interesting boss at the end, though.
Yeah, the mini boss is also pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, the mini boss is also really involved. And this is going to be another instance in the run where he's going to need to do a couple of terrain glitches, this time in sand instead of junk. So yeah, right here, it's like you want to dash as close as you can to that fireball thing, and then dash right under it, because that way it's easier to jump over that pit without getting hit. So right here, he's going to switch to, I believe, Ice Chip, and then equip Blizzak's and Up Slash. And then he's going to try to combo this boss in such a way so that he can try to one-cycle. It's very picky to get. He missed it here. It's not a big deal if you do miss it, because it's
incredibly nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and if you do take too much damage, fortunately there's a big health up right here, and there's also safety. You just got a safety cyber elf, which if you absolutely do need to use it, it heals you for like 8 health. This last part is a bit tricky because you have Blizzak's X skill equipped, which the buster shots, they don't, like, it's not like a normal buster shot which just fires straight ahead. These ones they pause and then fire ahead, which makes killing some enemies a bit hard. So yeah, right here he's going to try to one cycle Anubis. And, well, he almost did it. This is actually a very, very hard one cycle to get because his staff blocks the buster shots, which ruins the combo, so you have to fire them in a very specific way. And not only that, but it's also very difficult to up/down/slash them. So yeah.
This next stage is pretty scary, I would say. It has a lot of spikes, and it has a very scary boss.
Yeah, NT loves their spikes.
Yep. And the second half of the stage has these platform cycles. You see these platforms here. There are platforms like that in the second half that are on a cycle that, like, you'll pretty much have to wait at some point.
Yeah, I believe there's like a second or two of leeway if you do it optimally at least start to get the good cycle.
So, about the boss in this stage, he's very mobile, so it can be kind of difficult to, like, to get him to stay still.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was really scary. Also, this shaft right here is absolute hell.
Will, you're giving me a heart attack, stop it.
Yeah, so the boss right there, you can like pin him up against the wall and keep comboing him and you will like knock him back. But if he gets free, it can be really difficult to like attack him at all. And he also has okay, right there.
Oh, he got it, good.
Yeah, he also has a heal. When he goes, I think it's a bit under half health, he will try to heal, but you can interrupt him if you attack him very quickly. And he managed to do it there, so that's very nice, because he heals an entire health bar, so a lot of time lost.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So coming up next is your breathing room before two very difficult stages. And this here is Glacier Legak Tank. He has the best boss name in all of Mega Man. And aside from that, like, this stage is incredibly basic. You're just dashing forward and riding on sleds. I guess one thing to kind of explain about riding on sleds is they move faster when enemies are on them compared to when Zero is. So we'll be seeing one part where a sled will be coming towards him, and he'll just damage boost onto it and just ride on it with the enemy. Also right here, he's going to be getting the quick charge head chip, which, even though he does have Clockle, like, you'd think that, why would he need this? Like, he already has quick charge. Well, if you have a certain set of equipment, it's actually possible to stack both Clockle and the quick charge head chip and decrease charge time to 1 second, which comes very handy with a couple of bosses in endgame. This here is a mini boss from earlier, except now he's snow, and he's... oh, he missed it. This one's a bit easier to one cycle compared to the desert one. So right here, I believe Will's going to be riding the sled. Okay, yeah, he is. It is slightly faster to not ride the sled, but you need to have very good movement to do it. And it's not as easy as it looks to kind of move through this part without the sled. Although right here, just be careful.
Yeah, and it's very nice to ride the sled because you get a lot of free enemy kills, so it helps your rank safety.
Yeah, there's that too. So coming up with here, this boss, he's going to be doing a combo, and then during his next combo, he's going to pause, equip some rather odd equipment, and then a bird elf. And the reason he equipped all that stuff there was that if you have a very certain set of equipment, I believe it was what was it again? I think it was normal head plus light body plus quick foot, and that lets you cancel out triple slash with an up slash, which is what he did there. And the bird elf he just equipped there just because it's convenient and he needs it for later.
Yeah, so the next stage is very long, and it also has it technically has 3 mini bosses almost. So
this is probably the hardest stage in the game.
Yeah, it also has a really cool spike skip. We will see. But yeah, there's a lot of enemies here that he's shooting with Buster, and that's just they will always spawn in the same positions, so he just has to shoot at specific points and they will be cleared out. And there
also, like, another thing about light body is that he's taking double knockback, so just be careful of that.
One nice thing about this stage is that they probably realized how difficult it was, so they put a lot of health drops lying around in the stage.
So I guess coming up here we got a mini boss here.
Yeah, and this one also has an incredibly difficult quick kill.
Yeah, before you couldn't one-cycle him, but because you can cancel out your triple slash, now it's feasible in RTA.
Oh, very nice. And then following up that, you have to do the spike skip here.
You got it.
Very nice.
A scary thing about going under those platforms, if you dash under them, if your dash ends and you're still under them, it counts as a crush death.
Yeah, it's a bit scarier than it looks. And this place really sucks, because these enemies spawn randomly, and they can really screw you up.
It's also very hard to double hit the buttons too this time.
Yeah. He picked up a health drop there, even though he didn't really have low health, but it's a good idea to have a lot of health for the ending of this stage. You not only have to do a little damage boost here, but you also want a damage boost on the boss. So it's nice to have some extra health. This boss fight looks really nice, I think. The combo looks really cool.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool one.
Very nice.
Yeah, that combo only works if the boss is at A rank.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like when the bosses are at when you are at A rank, the bosses they get their EX skills, so they have an extra attack. And in most cases, those attacks are supposed to be their most powerful attack, I guess. But in the case of Foxstar, it ends up being the easiest one to do combos on.
Yeah, for some reason, that attack where she splits into 5 flames isn't her X skill, which makes no sense. So coming up here, he's going to be switching to some more kind of certain kind of equipment, and that's because he wants to activate 1 second charge, which in order to have 1 second charge you have to have neutral armor. And he'll be keeping this for the rest of the game up until the very end of the boss rush. So this stage here, about 80% of the stage consists of being on an elevator killing enemies. Although it's not an auto-scroller, you can speed it up by just simply killing enemies really quickly. And things you need to keep in mind during this is that there's going to be a lot of stuff on screen, so you want to kind of kill things as fast as you can so there's not as much lag. And he's going to be using the recoil rod to kill stuff because he can push these shield enemies right off the platform. I guess one unfortunate thing that can happen is that you can get a lot of item drops, and when that happens, that creates lag. So that's one of the very few instances of RNG in the run. This mini-boss here is fairly straightforward. You just triple up, down. He can be RNG, like, I guess to go back to earlier, the RNG manipulation, there are some things you just can't manipulate just because there's just too many things in the stage that are changing it, and in this stage there's just too much going on to get a good manipulation going. So during the second part, it's more or less more of the same, although there are now these, oh, that just happened there, and oh my god. It's a good thing he had that bird elf equipped.
Yeah, it's pretty convenient that you equip the bird elf before this stage, because that might happen.
Yeah, like those pantheons, like, they'll just punch you right off.
And one thing we didn't mention about the bird elf is that since cyber elves change RNG when they're on screen, when you have two cyber elves equipped, it changes RNG twice every 33 frames. So it actually ends up working very well for these boss fights. Foxstar, which was the previous one, as well as this one, it gives very nice patterns.
Yeah, like that's why you equip Bird Elf early, just because Foxtard does a really bad pattern otherwise. For this boss here, his hitbox is rather obnoxious, so the only things you can reliably hit him with are charge, up, down. He has to sneak in one double slash here, just because with the way the combo works, he'd have extra health. And that was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, it was very good.
So coming up is what was formerly the most hated stage in the game, although that has recently changed.
Oh yeah. So this stage has, well, first of all, it has like a water cycle that when the water goes high, it becomes electrified and it will damage you a lot if you are in it. So I'm not sure what cycle you'll go for here, but there is that to keep in mind. But there's also the fact that at the end of this stage, there are a set of doors that are randomized, but you can manipulate them. The interesting thing about them is that they're not based on the like normal RNG value, but instead they're based on the stage timer. So it actually changes every frame. But by using a certain cue, you can kind of like get a certain frame window, and then you saw him wait a bit there. So
the visual cue like is a flashing light.
Yeah, exactly. So he tried to hit a certain frame window, and then now he will traverse the doors at the end of the stage in a certain way, so that he can like see what he gets and then adjust based on that. Okay, that's good. So you will see like this room is like red. There are red and yellow rooms. So if he enters a door and the room is yellow, that means it's bad. He wants to get the red rooms, and he needs to find 4 of them. And there are 8 possible doors. So okay, this is very good so far.
Yep. Another thing is that you want to, like the last room you enter is the one you fight the boss in, and you want to fight him in a room which is completely flat. Because you have to do a combo on him, which requires doing a dash slash at him, and that's just simply not possible in a room like this here.
Yeah. So it's very nice that there is a manipulation for this now.
Yeah, because this costs you like 20 seconds at the end of your run before.
Ah, there's a yellow.
Yep.
And I don't remember where. Okay, yeah, there it is.
The thing about the rooms is that only the 8 middle rooms can be red, so that's another thing you got to keep in mind.
Yeah. And this boss is kind of tricky because you want to do a gale attack on him, but you have to dash to do that. And well, he did quickly there, but basically, since he is dashing underwater, he's creating bubbles, and those change RNG. So it's pretty precise to get the correct manipulation in this guy.
Yeah, like that was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, that was good.
So coming up here is endgame. We got 2 stages left. This next stage has a lot of NT creates level design, which is enemies placed in really awkward positions just for the sake of being awkward. So to kind of deal with that, he's going to be using the laser shot, which reflects off walls and makes dealing with all these awkward enemy placement much easier. Like you'll see it at the start of the stage here, where after he goes down this corridor, he's going to try to use laser shot and hit these pantheons, like that. Here you want to move through here in a very specific way, not to land on spikes. Like this next part is just more or less more of the same, using laser shot to deal with these really dumb enemy placement. Unfortunately, he missed that one there, so he had a damage boost through him. Coming up here is Baby Elves, which functions pretty much like before, except now you have Gale Attack and you can kill them much quicker.
But it's really hard to
yeah,
actually
it's really
get the
hard.
quick kill.
I remember it also being fairly finicky too, where if you did it too fast, it gave you a bad pattern. So yeah, I think you had to delay like your last down stab, I think. Yeah, he got the good pattern, but he missed the combo. Okay, we're barely alive. Also, for some reason, you can't skip this cutscene because of reasons.
Yeah, so now it's coming up in the final stage, which is the boss rush. And one thing that I think is worth pointing out about the boss rush is that a lot of the boss skills look really easy and simple, but most of them are actually really difficult. And also for a lot of them, if you mess them up, the bosses can really get out of hand quickly. So there is a certain danger, but hopefully we will see a lot of good quick kills.
Yeah, there's a cutscene skip for each boss, so we can manipulate all of them. Oh. Ooh, that was...
Yeah, that's... it's not a very costly death, I guess, and it doesn't really it doesn't matter for his rank anymore because...
yeah, he's seen it wrong.
Stage. But it's still unfortunate to die, of course.
So I believe you fight, it's Double Bat first, just because you take a lot of damage on him. Yeah, you fight Double Bat first.
Yep.
I believe he waits a bit here so that Double Bat will drop down, and then he's going to Gale Attack him. Yeah, like that.
Yep, very good. I'm not sure if we explained, but Gale Attack is the dashing attack where you do a stab along the ground.
Yeah, it hits 3 times and does 6 damage each, so it's a lot of damage.
Yeah, you'll see that the general go-to combo in this boss rush is Gale Attack and then up/down stab, because that combo in total deals 33 damage, and bosses have 64 health, so you can kill them in just 2 combos. Or most bosses have 64 health, I should say. This one is kind of tricky and kind of scary as well if you mess it up.
Yeah, he hits kind of hard and his hitbox is a bit obnoxious.
Okay, that was fine. And next is Children, and he is underwater, so once again the manipulation is kind of tricky because you want to do a Gale Attack, which creates bubbles. But you will see him walk a bit at the beginning here, and that's just to get the proper amount of bubbles. Okay, he didn't quite get the full manipulation, but that was fine.
He didn't go off screen, that's what's important.
Yeah. And
This
here's
next
a
section is a bit obnoxious.
yeah, it's a really stupid section because ice physics in this game really suck, and there is actually a foot chip you can get and equip that's called the spike foot chip, but it's not worth it to equip it. What it does is it allows you to move normally on ice, but you just have to deal with ice physics. And he's handling it very well. You don't really see how obnoxious they are because he handled it really well. So he's gonna do.
No, he does Yak Tank first. I thought he did Foxstar first.
Yeah, I guess it's mostly just preference.
Yeah.
He actually didn't take damage on that first combo. That's kind of difficult.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. This is the only boss out of the 8 which does actually lose time from the combos he's using just because of the pattern he gives.
Foxstar is a bit scary. It can get out of hand if you mess it up, because she deals a ton of damage. Okay, very nice.
Got him. The next one, Calvarian, he's a lot scarier in the boss rush just because the RNG seed you get just aren't very good. So you kind of gotta dance around and combo him while his little dogs are attacking you.
Yeah, and also since his hitbox is his head, you can't use Gale Attack on him since it goes along the ground.
So it is possible to hit the dogs and they'll deal damage to him too, but their iframes are very weird, so you don't want to hit them.
And now he's gonna switch to the ice chip for Bolt Heal. And that is so that he can do a particular quick kill on him, as well as on the first Omega fight at the end. But because of the floor layout here, you can see it's not really viable to use the Gale Attack there either.
He wall jumps there to get a good pattern.
Yeah, very nice. So yeah, the final boss is called Omega, and he has 3 phases, and each phase has 96 health, so there's a lot to go through. And it can be kind of scary. I'd say that the first 2 phases are fairly simple, although it is possible to mess up a bit and take damage. Like it's not that's something that might happen. The final phase can be very scary because it can get very out of hand if you mess it up.
Yeah, the final phase has an attack which does I think it's like 3/4 of your health.
Yeah, I think it does 9 damage.
It does 12.
Oh yeah, it's 12 if he collides with you first, because like the collision damage is part of the combo or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so here he's finally using his bird off, and that's so that he can combo the boss, fall into the pit, and then rise out of it without dying.
Yeah, so as I was saying about taking damage, this is yeah.
Ouch. Well, he's still got a safety elf, so
yeah. So the thing about that second phase is that like the normal kill isn't very difficult, but if you mess it up even a little bit, you will get caught behind in the cycle, and it can be difficult to catch back up because he like moves back and forth, and sometimes you can't hit him.
yeah, that was a very clean refight for that boss, though.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Also, he buster shots the buster, the big buster on the boss at the start, just so he does this attack twice.
Okay, that was very good. And there's the final phase.
Yeah, this is just going to be Gale attack, up slash, down slash 3 times. Let's hope he gets it. Busters the wall a few times there to get a pattern.
I don't think he got the manipulation, etc.
It's still a pretty good fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 44-27. That's a pretty solid time.
Yeah, that's definitely solid for a marathon run. And I mean, other than like the death at the end, there were like not really any costly mistakes.
Yeah, that probably would have been like a low 43 though, the deaths. So yeah, very good run, Will.
Yeah, very solid.
Not sure about that. Really not too satisfied with that run.
You got a lot of cool tricks, I think. So
I really wanted to get the Anubis one cycle though.
yeah,
That's one looks pretty.
Yeah,
But
the Anubis one cycle in a marathon is just too hard.
I also had a kind of dumb death at the start of the boss rush. I kind of wanted to go for the thing where you dash underneath the spikes. And it's really close.
Oh, you're going for... Don't go for that. That's really hard to do.
But it looks cool.
It looks cool, but you die in the process.
Yeah, I kinda go for that one on bad runs.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Alright, that was an awesome run. Never watched a Mega Man Zero run before, so that was sweet.
Liked it.
Alright, so we're going to transition over to, I'm probably biased here, but my favorite block of the entire marathon, the Kirby block. Here we're going to have Swordsman Kirby started off with Kirby Squeak Squad. SK, I'm assuming Shasta is your commentator for this?
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, whenever you guys get the green light from Fiesel, Shasta, you can count down and take it away, and SK, good luck.
Thanks.
Sounds good.
Alright. Hey everyone, I'm Swordsman Kirby. This is Kirby Squeak Squad. Co-commentating with me is Mr. Shasta.
Hello. That's me.
Alright, so...
Actually, give me 1 second before we start.
No problem. So, just to briefly mention, Squeak Squad 100% involves getting all 120 chests, and then just being the final boss. Alright, Shasta, just...
Yeah, just need like a minute,
Okay.
and then should we could go. Sorry about that. I'd say I should be able to see the game feed. It's kind of important. So yeah. It's okay though.
Alright, sorry about the delays, everyone.
Yeah, sorry. give us 1 second. Oh, it's a problem on my end. Okay, whoops. I'm just trying to figure out the stuff for the commentary sheet, and didn't realize I need to fix this beforehand, I guess. I think I'll do that then. Hold on. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now it works. I put it in Chrome and now it's working.
Alright.
Actually, not in Chrome, in Internet Explorer.
Yeah. Anyways.
There we go.
Ready to start?
Yeah, it's ready now.
Okay. Alright. Gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. I realize I gave the countdown, but I'm controlling the timer.